Блин, какую, эту или ту?
Они же одинаковые.
Не надеть вообще нечего.
Alright, so I wanted to do this video on what I actually eat on a given day. Now, the reason why I'm hesitant to do this video is simply because it's nothing exciting, and you know, I'm not your average person. I can eat the same thing every single day. My wife has to have variety. I don't. I primarily eat for health. Most people don't eat for health. So realize when I tell you this, this is just what I eat. You can eat whatever you want to eat, just make sure it's keto friendly. When most people start keto, they do need desserts, they need variety to keep it interesting. So realize this is just kind of an example of what I eat. Now presently I eat 1.5 meals a day. I'm going to tell you why. I would normally eat 1 meal a day, but if I do that, I tend to lose a little too much weight. And it's very difficult for me to consume the amount of calories in one meal, so I kind of spread it out. So it's not 2 full meals, it's like 1.5. The first meal is between 1 to 2 o'clock, okay, in the afternoon. And the second meal is between 5 and 6 o'clock p.m. So that gives me kind of a fasting range between 19 hours and 21 hours. Now, I also want to differentiate the difference between keto and healthy keto. Keto basically is just low carbs. They're not focused on the nutrition, okay, the nutrients. The benefit is from the lowering of your carbs. Healthy keto factors in the nutrient-dense foods, okay? And this is why I recommend the healthy keto plan with this X factor called intermittent fasting. It seems to work great on pretty much everyone. All right, what do I eat in the first in the healthy keto plan with this X factor called intermittent fasting? Seems to work great on pretty much everyone. All right, what do I eat in the first meal? I consume a combination of protein and fat mostly. Some vegetables, but not too much. I may do 4 eggs with onions with some fermented veggies. And so I get these fermented veggies from the farmer's market. Sometimes I get them from Amazon. I make sure that they don't have sugar in them. I might also do asparagus, and I'll just have that raw and I'll just chew on, like maybe sometimes I get them from Amazon. I make sure that they don't have sugar in them. I might also do asparagus, and I'll just have that raw and I'll just chew on, like maybe five little stalks of asparagus. Now realize someone took my video out of context and they said, Dr. Berg eats all this food in one meal, which is not true. So when I give you these examples, you're not supposed to add them up, okay? I don't eat all of these. This is 4 eggs, onions, / fermented vegetables, or hamburger, half a pound, but not both together, okay? So I just want to clarify that. Now, I consume a lot of hamburger. Why? Because hamburger is a lot more fatty than steak. And I never buy the 90% lean, I buy the 75 to 80%, so it's more fatty. I'll consume about half a pound with sauerkraut. So that would be my protein. I make sure that it's grass-fed. I'll consume about 1% lean, I buy the 75 to 80%, so it's more fatty. I'll consume about half a pound with sauerkraut. So that would be my protein. I make sure it's grass-fed, grass-finished, and a bit fatty. I do buy a lot of my hamburger from U.S. Wellness Fed, grass-finished. Consume about half a pound with sauerkraut. So that would be my protein. I make sure that it's grass-fed, grass-finished. And a bit fatty. I do buy a lot of my hamburger from U.S. Wellness Meats. I don't get any commission off that, FYI. Now, another option I might consume, especially if I'm in a rush, is summer sausage. I found one that has less than 1 gram of sugar, okay? And I put the link down below. It's pretty good. It has less than 1 gram of sugar, okay? Sausage. I found one that has less than 1 gram of sugar, okay? And I put the link down below. It's pretty good, and it's all organic. So that's good. It's very hard to find summer sausage without having some dextrose or other types of sugar in it. And I will consume about 8 ounces of that. Okay? It's very fast. I'll cut it up, and sometimes I'll add cheese to it. Maybe I'll have some Swiss cheese. The cheese is always grass-fed, organic, and primarily from Europe. It's not Velveeta. Okay. Now, other times I'll have some salmon. I'm very, very spoiled with salmon because sometimes you get this salmon that's old. Always grass-fed, cheese to it. This is that. Okay? It's very fast. I'll cut it up, and sometimes I'll add cheese to it. Velveeta. Sometimes you get this salmon that's old, or it's if you go to a restaurant, it's overcooked and it just doesn't taste that great. So I make my own salmon, and I just fry it with olive oil, put sea salt and pepper, and then I'll put mayo. I like the Primal Kitchen mayo because it doesn't have any sugar, and the oil is avocado oil, and that's what I'll consume. And sometimes I'll add olives to my meal. I like olives. So that's pretty much what I eat. Now, right after the meal, I might add some pecans because I might not be satisfied, so maybe a handful of pecans. Sometimes I'll do celery and peanut butter. The peanut butter is organic, Valencia, salted. I get that from Trader Joe's. I've done videos on that. It's a pretty good peanut butter. And sometimes I'll add a little chocolate. Now, of course, this is sugar-free chocolate. There's a lot of different keto-friendly chocolate things out there. The one that I like now is just with chocolate and stevia. I'll put a link down below of a few. You may not like these because when you sweeten chocolate with stevia, it gives you this little aftertaste, which I don't seem to mind. Karen won't consume it, so she does Lily's chocolate, which is a little bit tastier, but I find that throws off my digestive system. If I have chocolate with just stevia, it doesn't bother my digestive system at all. And I'll just do like 3 ounces of that chocolate. Okay, so now that's the simplicity of what I eat for my first meal. Second meal, all right, I will primarily start with the veggies, okay? Usually 8 cups of salad, sometimes 7, sometimes 10, but it's this bowl of salad. I'll start eating that. I like to use arugula or a greens mix from the farmer's market simply because sometimes the salad that you buy at the grocery store is just completely empty. The ideal situation would be to have you consume salad from your own garden. I'm going to do some videos on that. That would be the best thing because you can control how much nutrition that's in that salad. I really believe that people do not like salad because they've never tasted really good salad grown on really good soils. So I highly recommend you seek out some good salad so you can taste what it normally should taste like, okay? Now I put some sea salt on my salad. I might add avocado, maybe some nuts, but not too many other things. I use a lot of olive oil, but not your regular olive oil. I get my olive oil from Italy. I'm sure there's other types of olive oil out there, but just make sure it's fresh because most of the olive oil out there doesn't even taste like anything. It should have a very fresh, almost like a grass-cut taste, kind of a little spicy. So I just dump a lot of olive oil on there and I'll put balsamic vinaigrette. Okay, that's all I use. Now, I may have a different type of salad, chopped cabbage and carrot. Okay, and I use a combination of white cabbage and red cabbage. I have one of those little choppers that I just put it in there and I chop it down. And if I'm doing that, I'm not going to do 8 cups. I'm going to do like 3.5 cups because it's very dense. And I'll put some mayo on it from Primal Kitchen. I just love that. That seems to really digest well, and that would be my vegetable for the day. Now, sometimes I might just do a steamed cauliflower, 4 cups, with a lot of butter and sea salt and pepper. All right, do I add any protein? Occasionally. Sometimes I'll do like a half can of cod liver, not cod liver oil, but cod liver. You can search it. It's out there. It's pretty awesome. Most of it's wild caught, and it's not bad tasting, and it's very high in fat, and it has some protein in there. Not too much. If you do a whole can of cod liver, you're going to be very filled up. And sometimes I do that as well, depending on if I've exercised very intensely and I need to eat more. Now, I also might add some summer sausage, not at 8 ounces, but maybe 4 ounces. Okay? It's really quick, it gives me a little protein, and maybe I'll put a little Swiss cheese with that. I may add some pecans. I may add celery with that peanut butter I mentioned, just until I'm satisfied. Okay? So that's pretty much what I eat. Now, what do I fry the eggs in? Beef tallow. Where do I get my greens? Preferably from the farmer's market if I can. Sometimes I can't go there, so I will just buy the arugula from the store. It has to be organic, of course. And when tomatoes are in season, I will consume a tremendous amount of tomatoes from the farmer's market, or I will consume them from the garden. But I will not consume a tomato unless it's a good tasting one, which means that it has a lot of nutrition. Alright guys, so there you have it. That's what I ate. Pretty boring, but it's workable. Hey, before you go real quick, I have a course entitled How to Bulletproof Your Immune System. It's a free course. I want you to take it, and here's why. Here's you. Here is your environment. Everyone is focused on this over here, avoiding your environment. But what about here? What about strengthening your immune system? That's what's missing. This course will show you how to bulletproof yourself, and so you can tolerate and resist your environment much better by strengthening your own immune system. I put a link down in the description right down below. Check it out and get signed up today.
Hi, my name's Laura McKendry and I'm an educator and illustrator. My work can be found on book covers, homeware, fabric and greeting cards, including clients such as Waterstones, John Lewis, Laura Ashley, Woodmanston and Profile Books. My work focuses on the natural world, everything that makes it fascinating, beautiful and delicious. Fruit, birds, plants, the sea, wild animals, changing seasons. There are so many places to find inspiration. I love to explore different ways of making marks and playing with materials to reconnect with the fundamental ability to create interesting and imperfect images. I often stand to draw and paint on the floor, which injects an energy and playfulness to my drawings. I work mostly with watercolour, ink, charcoal and coloured pencil, painting with unusual materials, drawing with sticks or even my hands. But I like to experiment with whatever I find lying around. In this Domestica course, I will show you how to move away from the pressures that can stifle creativity and how to encourage playfulness in our drawing. First, we will explore the materials, discovering how to work with ink, watercolour and coloured pencil and mixed media. Then we will start to gather inspiration from nature, taking references from photos, moving videos, drawing outside on location and from real life. And finally, we will use the techniques that we've learned to create a series of images based on the natural world. For your final project, you'll explore ways to depict animals and their natural habitats, creating 3 collections of illustrations inspired by aspects of nature. At the end of this course, you will have learnt the drawing skills to capture the natural world with a playful and relaxed approach to image making, using different combinations of unpredictable materials and unusual tools. Whilst I work mostly with watercolour, ink and coloured pencil, we will also experiment with found materials and different techniques. Experiment with colour and texture, explore nature and its surroundings, discover new ways to unlock your creativity.
Съемочный тогда иду спать. Ну, ладно. Mm-hmm.